Tonight, from GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. For one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out. Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season. Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Tua now on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
From midfield, here's Tua. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Nash. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
First carry now. This is Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the numbers for Waddle in last week's ball game. He was no doubt a key piece to their puzzle in that victory.
And when this offense plays well, you just know he's going to be in the middle of everything, don't you? I mean, defense is going to say, we've got to take this guy away. He doesn't allow himself to be taken away, does he?
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now the Dolphins, they're lining up to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 6 catches, 73 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor, the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Flushed out right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait till the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. A tight one, 8-7 our score after one on EA Sports. Tua now on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. It's a big play there for Miami.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Henry Ruggs with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 8. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now Mahomes. Pressure gets to him again. Isaiah Simmons providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken right around the 44. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of '85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Good job. Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin with touchdown number 8 on the year. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This fielded right at the goal line.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. This is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got 0 benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Chewo Olalua.
Touchdown number 15 of the year.
And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead.
A strong run there, boy, when he gets it, especially around the goal line, like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Well, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his pitch catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On second and 9, Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Dolphin football.
Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out.
He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, The alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Tua sets up to pass it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You can see the thought process there. With his speed, they were hoping he could pop one. Instead, the coverage was good, and they forced the incompletion.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as good running gets him to about the 44. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
They run the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to it, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They were trying to get it into Kelsey that time, and it's third and short.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw again on 2nd down. Tua, he'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Tua. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Myles Gaskin, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
You better be afraid of me. 24 is the mic. Switch up, switch up.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Single, single. Single, single. 24 is the mic. I'm coming after you.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Tua.
Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
24 is the mic. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And out of bounds, this will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the Bills who pick up the victory at home. Jalen Guyton, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Jordan Love, as sharp as you can be throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in the victory. And then one more to highlight. Monday night.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
Taking it about the 1.
Oh, good return up past the 30. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. Yeah.
That's caught at the 25. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play there for Miami. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run now with Gaskin.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Gaskin again on 2nd down.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Williams.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Isaiah Simmons
able to record his 5th sack of the season. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Miami set to take over.
And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Chiefs will take over possession here up at the 44. The deep ball has been a big factor in why they have the lead that they do. But here, this defense finally said, hey, enough's enough.
Yeah, and obviously they've had their struggles all game long. Now, this won't make up for the deficit that they already face, but it is something that they can finally feel good about.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Mahomes going to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Sliding out of the pocket. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
29 is Mike 29.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Butker's kick here is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second and a couple. Tua. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. 54, Mike. 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Here's Gaskin. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the run, watch the run. Mike 54, Mike 54.
A handoff as they run the counter play.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line.
24 is the mic. I know he ain't got it.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go. Set. Flat. 95. 54. Watch 54. Hey, watch the lane. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. he did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there. Defensively, and 2nd down. A 3rd quarter action from Kansas City, 2nd down and 10.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Gets around him. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
83 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Double time, double time. We got 4. We got 4. 24 is the mic. Target.
On the give, this is their fullback.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Here we go. Blue, 32. Oh, dang, pump. 24 is the mic.
From the 24, Tua. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
54's Mike.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua.
Reception here by Ruggs.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it.
Both sevens to Mike. Both sevens to Mike. In your face. 47's to Mike. 47's to Mike. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And he's got his tight end Gesicki in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Dolphins are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here.
Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack on 1st down, Mahomes. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And again, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
75 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Williams is going to have the 1st down and a little more. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, here's Williams. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.